Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Napoleon Total War 3 with this Prussian campaign. Last time around we took Strasbourg from the Spanish of all people. We'll never know how they managed to get it. Anyways, it's time for the big battle, so I think we'll, further ado, we'll try to start it off by have Prussia march up to be intercepted by the Spanish, and the Spanish do intercept him. We have our force of 8,768 men, roughly, or 800 I guess. And then the Spanish have a force of about 8,000, so we have outnumbered them by about 800 men. Their force will be this one, and then they'll reinforced by 4 other armies, while we are reinforced by 3 others, one of which is just cannons. However, it's very nice, we're not gonna get the Saxon army turning up behind the enemy. As it stands, the fight gonna be here, so all the reinforcements gonna come behind Prussia, and the enemy is gonna come from the front. So very good. It's actually in our favor, so it wasn't as spectacular as I thought. I was hoping the Spanish would have more, but I guess maybe due to, I don't know what reason, but now that I look at it, all their flags are actually tattered. So I don't know what they have been fighting, or why they haven't been replenished. But there we have it. I think if they were replenished, it would probably be in more equal numbers. With that said, however, I think I've talked enough, so let's go ahead and have this battle, shall we? And here we are for the battle. So, how have I deployed it? The Silesian troops in the center, together with the Silesian Jaegers, or the yeah, whatever we want to call them. Then we've got the Brandenburgian Foot Guards, number 8. We've got them on this side, on their left side. Then we've got the Grenadiers, and I think it's the first time we see the East Prussian Grenadiers take the field. So they'll be deployed here on the right side, together with the 2 light cavalry units, the Polish Lancers and the Hussars, while the heavy cavalry is, or the medium, I guess, because they're dragoons, are on the left. Cannons on the left, because we got a nice hill on the left, and yeah, let's go ahead and start. Go ahead, but with moving the cannons into position first. I think what we'll do is we'll have 3 of them stationed out on this side with the dragoons over there, and then we'll have 1 over here, just because we got this in the way, kinda. So Jaegers, Jesus Christ, that's a big Jaeger unit. I guess we'll have this big one right here, the battalion. We'll have that one stationed in between, where we have 2 Silesian infantry above to protect them, while we have this other Jaeger unit moving all the way forward to that position. Now I might think that I actually should have split the... God damn it, I should have split my cannons. Okay, so it's Spanish artillery has managed to break one of our cannons while moving into position, and that has prompted them to move back. Now remember that these are guard artillery units. I need to deploy these bloody cannons and turn fire on the enemy immediately. So if you could turn... So if you could turn to actually face where I need you to face, that would be nice. Since this one is destroyed, it actually helps a little bit, because now we've got better room for this unit. Spanish cavalry is moving forward, lots of Spanish units moving all over the place. Cannon is ready to deploy. Now these guys have 70 accuracy. Let's keep up a bit, because Are they trying to charge? Yes, they are. But it's a general. The moron. The Silesian musketeers are up there right next to them to aid. Deploy these cannons as well. These have... What was I going at? Yeah, so talking about these. They have 70 accuracy. You can hide the general behind. Okay, the Spanish cavalry decides to charge even though my infantry is up at the front line. So they decide still to charge at my Jaegers. Morons. I guess the big advantage we have... Geez, there's gonna come a lot more cavalry. So these two are ordered to retreat while the Silesians form square. That's a lot of enemy cavalry. Jaegers form in between. We're gonna need the I think we're gonna need the general over here. It looks like that. Just to make sure that the enemy does not use kind of the cavalry advantage the Spanish have. And when I say advantage, I mean mostly numbers. Their first attempt to break our army in two has failed. But they have inflicted quite a bit of damage on my units, especially this little Jaeger unit. The general has arrived to take part, and I don't know what you guys are doing. But it would be favorable if you would be facing the enemy, and not only that, firing on the enemy as well. My very accurate cannons have already, it seemed, taken out a few artillery pieces of the enemy, or at least some of their I don't know what the contraption is called, the carriage, I guess.
A glorious victory, sir, is soon to be yours.
There's a bit of a lull in the battle as we wait for the Spanish to, I guess, do another cavalry charge. The Jaegers fire a massive volley away to them. I guess we'll switch the units. Not really the time to switch. Okay, so they tried here, now they're gonna try here. Which I don't see how would be Spanish Guard Dragoons charge straight into fire. I think we probably shoot more of our own when they move that close to the Jaegers that are in front. The Guard Dragoons make it to the Silesian line, but are repulsed as soon as they arrive. Are we breaking down that cannon? Yes, there's only one left. They've placed spikes around it. I mean, given how accurate I am, I'd imagine they'd already be gone. They are making a move, seemingly, towards this position right here. I want to bring these guys a little bit back, and then the dragoons a little bit back. What I want to do, though, is we got a Spanish artillery piece here, only guarded by that dragoon unit. Guess if the lancers come from the front and the hussars from the side, but I guess the lancers should not be as quick. But maybe we don't do that move right now, because we've got a massive advance of troops moving towards us. Let's not get caught by all of this unguarded. I don't know, maybe moving into square was unnecessary because the enemy wasn't going to be able to break through there anyways. And then the guard artillery spraying the enemy with canister, which opens up for me to send in the dragoons to chase them down as we see they're all breaking apart. The folly of their attack is fully shown. We've got the Grenadiers from the Canary Islands. Or Canarias. Which I guess would be something like that. Oh, they send forward their cavalry while all of this is going on. Face the dragoons out there. Okay, they're going for the lancers. Let's have a forest fight then. The lancers almost broke, not even facing the enemy in the forest. What is going on with that? Continue through and get that cannon. And it would be nice if you guys could win this cavalry fight. And we could continue on to get that cannon. Polish lancers and hussars. The Spanish dragoons are trying to retire from this. Plus they're getting musket fire from over here. We will continue through and go for the cannons. I'm not too happy with the fact that the Spanish managed to take 2 cannons out of this unit. Right, dragoons. Retire to the line. There's still a lot of Spanish troops to come. Maybe I should gain ground. But next stage to hold is this here. And then the enemy spawns. We don't know where they're gonna come in. So I'm not too comfortable right now moving forward to take a better position. We didn't get these guys? How did we miss? I thought I sent my dragoons over here. I guess it's good that I didn't, because there's a lot of spikes and shit. I like how this stupid general decides to follow. I guess we could have the Grenadiers move closer there. And we can have a little bit of an opening for the Jaegers to sit. Right, we do have a big movement of enemy troops right here. I'm bombarding this, but they have surrendered, but yet not surrendered. So they keep firing. What's the point of firing? They're not firing back. Pick your target as you please. Maybe I'll advance this one to try and... Maybe not in the face of cavalry, when cavalry is moving forward as it is right now. As I can just put a few cannon shots through them. And they kind of realize that they do not want to stay here, and they retire. And the other troops moving back up the hill, waiting for more Spanish reinforcements to come in. Regiment upon regiment is sent to the front. But they're losing, definitely losing grip of the battle as their first force. Oh, what's going on here? Not down here. Down, it's not Minecraft. What's going on over here? The 33rd has decided to march through the forest to meet our cavalry. They got off 1 musket shot before the hussars struck them. And the line was too thin to hold against it, and they broke. Not entirely sure what they thought they were going to accomplish there. The hussars will retire. We have a little bit of a gunfight going on here, which is not really advantageous to us because of the angle that the Spanish have managed to catch us at. So the units will retire just slightly to improve our position. That was a nice volley fired by the Silesians. However, I fear as though every shot they fire, they shoot quite a few of the Jaeger battalion, which has managed to lose 83 men. So cavalry unit. It's a proper line cavalry unit as well. It's too close. We'll have to respond by a charge. The hussars and the lancers strike. And hopefully hold them off. We've got another attempt at a full frontal cavalry charge towards the Silesian musketeers. But they are forced back. This unit of line infantry decides, I don't know where they tried to march. Didn't go too well. These guys decided to form square, which they were in range of the cannon fire, so we could see cannon shots coming this way. So they kind of realized that wasn't going to go too well. I wonder if I shouldn't try to advance my left side. Oh, look at that. They're drawing the line like so. Right, my cavalry swept away the Spanish cavalry. I think we are going to advance here. First of all, the Jaegers will move down into that gap to hopefully just give a wider area where they won't be shot by fellow troops. They've got so much cavalry though, and I can see lots of cavalry, so any advances could be caught off guard and destroyed by massive Spanish cavalry charge. Oh, the dragoons are back. Or they think they're back anyways. Also, if nothing else, I want to advance just to get rid of this cannon, which for some reason remains. The Brandenburg Foot Guards. Okay, they're drawing their line in a very silly way. Pretty good shots for this cannon to bounce shots straight down through it. Let's tell these guys to speed it up a little bit. Get a few more shots bouncing through here. They're moving away now, aiming to get back on the hill. Or at least this one stops to fight the Brandenburg battalion or Brandenburg brigade. See if I can get you in there as well. We've got lots of fresh troops, so keep an eye on what's coming here. Cannons, Zapadoros. What's this? Liadoros and Lingero de Valencia. Cavalleria de Linja and a 9-pounder cannon. More grenadiers. Right, we kind of caught them. They moved into to sort of trap themselves into one half circle. Which isn't really working out for them. This is militia, volunteers. Well, I guess that's what voluntarios means. Infanterie de linja. That almost sounded Dutch when I said it like that. Look at that. They're sending in on the flank. However, on the flank is where the dragoons are. They're all kind of slowly being broken down. I'm not going to send in the Polish lancers, as they'll most likely break. Instead, we're going to send in the hussars and sweep the Spanish away. So, I guess the Spanish totally failed in their supply situation, and that's why we're so easily breaking these guys down. They hadn't really set up the supplies to, or once, I guess, or I guess the roleplay thing would be the fact that when we took the town, that they found themselves without supplies, and I guess the French wouldn't really want to share. So they ended up in a really bad position. We still have one unit here. These guys fought on pretty well compared to everyone else. First Foot Guard. The I guess this is the Princess Regiment. Got a small unit of some form of light troop. My dragoons, I knew it was going to be hard, but now when they've got more troops coming up on the sides,
The men are fatigued, sir, and must rest a while.
the dragoons need to retire, which I think it was, yeah, it was the guys that were tired as well. And with their flank exposed, we need to redraw the line for the Brandenburg Brigade. Only making small gains here. The dragoons could retire in good order, that would be nice. And also full speed back to safety. We've got cavalry coming in, charging this regiment of Brandenburgers, which is going to form square. And so are the other two, because we're not going to have time to get into position. Are these armored? Oh, it kind of looked to begin with that they were armored. It's a very bad spot for the cavalry to be stuck in, right in there in the square. These idiots, the Sapadors, decided they were gonna chase down the cavalry and melee fight them. Right, so I guess we have had enough fun on this side, or at least for now. And with the enemy redrawing their line like so this time around, it's time for this side, my right flank, to advance. Wait, where did the hussars go? Where are the hussars? They're all the way over here. While you're still here, you might as well go and take out those cannons. Both of them. While we advance, trying to take on the Regiment of Valencia. The Prince's Regiment is still standing, so we can imagine that those are some tough guys. The hussars struck and definitely took out that cannon. The smaller regiment, would be nice if the hussars would actually turn to face that regiment instead and kind of break them, because I want you to get the other cannon before I send you back. Ah, shit. Spanish hussars. Hussars of the Iberia. Let's see if we can get our hussars out of here. as they're being chased down by... Oh, there's more light cavalry, Spanish light cavalry turning up. Pull back. Or even more cavalry. That's one of the things, the Spanish have so much cavalry. But bring those horses. Oh, what's going on here? Something really nasty. It's those Valonian Guard and Triadors are putting heavy pressure on the Brandenburgers on this side. They've only lost about 44 men, but it's enough to kind of make a major setback on them. The Hussars seem to have made it back. You know what? Hold. And wait for them to get closer, if anything. Okay, the Ostpreußischen Grenadier will form square and the cavalry will try into the woods. Seems that the enemy is making a charge towards the center over here. And the Silesians... Ah, they just broke the Grenadiers. I guess they were actually broken by the fact that the enemy Hussars... Oh, they kind of looked like they were going for the general. He's going to inspire the square. Hold on! Hold the line! The dragoons will sweep in, get rid of them. And yeah. Back into line. And we could see about now possibly trying to get up that hill a little bit. Or close in on it anyways. So what I want to do is go a little bit further. And a little bit further more. And cavalry move out to the flank. On this side, the dragoons got through. I don't think they're going to be able to go all the way up into the forest to get the other guys because they're still very tired. I want the Jaeger battalion to move hard into that forest. The Silesians will follow, and then the Brandenburgers will follow towards those Sapadors. They're making a cavalry charge towards the main line over here, but it's all Grenadiers on this side. Either just Prussian or East Prussian Grenadier. And they're riding into this prepared lines. Ooh! Kind of causing close range fire by that other unit. Quickly, the Polish Lancers are called in to deal with that regiment. It was a Spanish Lightfoot. If we wouldn't have rode that one down, it could have done some amazing damage to us. Let's make sure that those cavalry units don't come back. Seems like we are breaking these. I don't think the Brandenburger Brigade needs any help. And as we move forward, we will now bring the army together. As we make our way up towards the top of the mountain. Or not the mountain, the hill, I should say. Those guys were broken, and now it's only that guard unit that's holding out in the woods. They are getting reinforced by the Hussars of the Iberia. They're moving down the hill. The cavalry units have swept anything away on this side. Now they need to go for the cannons. And it seems as though there are some line units still coming up. Grenadiers will brave the hill together with the Silesians and the Jaeger battalion. Ooh, they're bypassing that unit, which is now formed into square. The cannons were already focusing fire, but now I'm ordering them to focus fire. And that means that the Brandenburger
Our men are
brigade
running,
is...
sir.
Oh, who's running now? Ah. I sent them towards the cannon, but I didn't notice that the Spanish were hiding so many troops in the wheat, I guess. Also, one thing that I need to be check here is there's spikes, so we need to remember that. I was about to send my general up through here. I don't see a point in relocating the cannons. They have really good long range, and we're not going to get them anywhere anyways. Or anywhere good from the position we now hold. And the enemy holds. Like, I would have to set up my cannons here to be able to shoot down into the area of the enemy.
Our men are running, sir.
Right, these guys, the hussars of the Iberia, are back. So we will continue fire cannon shot on them, and I'll send over the dragoons. And I think it's time to halt the advance here, as we are now very close to the enemy, to the point where it's kind of silly close. My dragoons did their job, very nice. And now it's only Spanish infantry that we are facing, which seems to be charging straight for us. I don't know why not the entire line is opening fire on them. I guess now... No? This unit's stopping to fire, possibly? No, they're charging straight into us. Provincial militia versus the Jäger battalion.
The men are fatigued, sir. Must rest.
Oh, they also snagged onto the Brandenburger. The Jäger battalion is now retiring, which I can understand, given the casualties they've suffered. The Spanish head-on charge has failed, except for the middle, where the provincial militia was actually successful in breaking the Jäger battalion. I really want to get up from the side of the hill up onto it. Can we get cannon fire into that mess? My dragoons will retire, as we've got a pretty strong enemy cavalry unit right there. I've ordered the cannons to focus in here with 70% accuracy. We should see cannon shots landing more towards the enemy than towards the Brandenburgers. Right, they're broke. And now I can try to organize the Brandenburgers to get closer to the Silesians. Okay, we're facing heavy fire over on the far right, down towards the Grenadier line, which I think will retire to draw a new line, and I think we might just need the general over there. And we might have you over there to check on these guys. Let's have the dragoons move here so I can actually kinda see what's going on here. They're pushing a lot here. But with cannon support, I could break this side because we have very good cannons or cannon support on this side. So I could break the enemy on this side, and then these probably gonna have some problem dealing with the enemy. Now the Blucher is arriving. He's gonna put him in the forest. So he's gonna support them. But as I break these, I can move these guys up, and that could relieve a little bit of the center and a little bit all over the place. And that should help us. Right, you can see the cannon shots are bouncing through here and sending those units back. These guys were actually sent back once I re-established some good lines. I want to gain some more ground. The enemy isn't really pushing a lot of dangerous fire towards us. And I want the Silesians to also gain some good ground here. Let's see if the Dragoons can kind of sweep in a little bit towards the back. The Saxon general, which is Prince Frederick. We are receiving quite a bit of fire from these guys. So now it's kind of the opposite, where there's a big Spanish force towards the center, not so much over here. Where I do think my Hussars have a chance to sweep away kind of that section. And that will open up for the Grenadiers to move in instead. Dragoons did their job here. I'm not gonna try to brave it any further though. So we'll move back. Spanish moving straight into us again. Ooh, nasty volleys by the Spanish, and there's a lot of them. Both generals will actually move towards the center to support that. Hussars trying to sweep in. That cavalry unit, if I could focus in on that. Oh shit, look at this. Massive melee fight, which ends up spectacularly bad for the Spanish. So they did kind of look like they had a pretty good advantage here, but that just turned to shit pretty quickly. Oh, they've dismounted their cavalry? Oh shit, that was a canister shot. Damn, that's doing us a lot of hurt. Silesians will move straight through the center before the Brandenburgers get absolutely destroyed by the canister. We actually took out one of their cannons though. Ooh, but they fired round shot, which saved me. Ooh, we need to support. Rally. Inspire. Inspire. Brandenburgers. Quick pace. Up to the front. How did it go? I completely forgot what happened to the Hussars. We actually took the position. Now we need to close the gap here. We are getting fired over here. Not that the Dragoons seem to notice, because the enemy fire is so damn poor. At this point, the thing is, my cannons, I guess, are out of range. And also, even 70% accuracy at this range would hit our own men. But seemingly there aren't that many Spanish units left at this point. They're making another push towards the center. Running straight into the Silesians. And once more, the Silesians are sending them back. Generals just behind to support them. We got single crappy unit over there. And with that charge, it means that we've got just this and then that. So the Silesians move in to deal a flank shot to break down the enemy over there. More of the Saxon army has arrived, Saxon cavalry. But I don't think that's going to be necessary because the enemy is kind of already gone at this point. And the Spanish over here are feeling the noose. And their charge failed as well. And they're all running for the hills, more or less. That one grenadier unit. Oh, it is. The battle has gone on to the point where one unit has used up all its ammo. Right now it's only really that one unit left of volunteers. Grenadiers turn. Quick march. Oh yeah, you're out of shot. Silesians. See if I can get my dragoons over there. And then the generals slow advance. So it's only that, not anymore actually. There's another unit that has come back. We have a unit of guards that has also come back. However, the dragoons are going straight for those guys. And even if they are able to fire a bit, I think it's too little too... Wow. I was about to say too little too late, but... Well, it is too little too late, because, well, the enemy can't really do anything at this point with one unit. And I still have so many fresh reserves to draw upon, since I've only really used the first army. They're rallying 2 units. I formed the square here just to see what these idiots were trying to do. I'm not entirely sure. We do have Saxon Chevaliers, so we can send them over to deal with them. So we started the battle here, and then we have moved through the field. Jeez, what a line it looks through here where my grenadiers died. It looked such a neatly drawn line there compared to everything else on the battlefield. Right, the guards decided they had enough and they are pulling back. And the grenadiers are about to receive some more grenadier fire. And they're gone, leaving only this unit left, which Blucher personally will take care of. And that will signal the victory for Prussia. I wonder what they're doing. Interesting that they actually decided to dismount one of their cavalry units. Blucher just rode away. Where are you going, Blucher? The fight is over here. He got so carried away, or maybe he couldn't really control his horse and it just rode away like that. But there we have it. I don't think the Spanish really at any point really had seemingly a chance against me. Well, they had a few where they got that really close, but the bayonet charges failed time and time again, and we repulsed them. Close victory. I don't know if I would call it a close victory, but there we have it. Let's go back to the campaign map and see the Spanish forces splinter across France and to die off. And here we have the exact numbers as well. We can see that we deployed 8,700, so roughly what I said, 800 men more. I was off by what? Like 10 people. We lost 1,200 men, while the Spanish army lost 5,000. They have 2,700 men remaining, while I have 7,500. Seemingly though, there's quite a few team kills, because the enemy only killed 900 and I lost 1,200. That's almost 300 people. Highest kills goes to Silesian Musketeers, which I guess is no surprise since they held the center. But damn, they took down a lot of enemies. And then we have the Prussian Hussars, one of the 12-pounders, Dragoons, a lot of the Silesian Musketeers. Jaeger Battalion did a lot, and so forth. Grenadier not so much. And then everyone who didn't take part in the battle was also listed. Blucher took down 14 men. Polish Lancers, they're not really that good, are they? We also got an heroic battle mark on the map, which is really nice. And the Spanish army is scattered. They get a kind of a weak replenishment here. However, that's going to end as well. Gerhard von Blucher get Confident General, which I'm not too surprised, because he did really well in that battle. And it was kind of all thanks to him as well. Or he was the main one in charge. The Battle of Nancy Mines. However, I'm not going to go ahead and end turn, because now, with this accomplished, we can make a move against the French. So the French have sent off, they've sent off a lot of forces dealing with the English incursion in Normandy, which has weakened Paris a lot. So I'm wondering if maybe this guy needs to be taken out, because I can't really bypass him in at least one turn. Or if, I guess the best way is to cut them completely down. So we'll have the armies move up, defeat these guys in the bridge, and then continue on, fight this one with this one as reinforcing. So that will be a much greater battle than against the Spanish. And the Spanish then, when I end turn, a lot of these armies won't get replenishment and they'll be forced to flee even further. And we get pretty good replenishment here. And we will be ready to hound them and force them to retreat ever further. Also, when I take this province, I will open up a trade port here, which will allow me to start trading with the Swiss and the Württembergers, which will be nice. But with that said, we're going to end it here today. And so next one will be towards Picardy, Champagne, to deal a decisive blow against the French and more or less hopefully wipe out their front line. And we'll have these armies running back to Paris. Hopefully also this will catch the attention of Napoleon with his armies, which his army is here. I don't know why he hasn't already started to withdraw, but I mean the AI is not that clever, so it's not like super surprised. But out of a roleplay kind of way, he would probably have moved back as soon as he could back to France, as his everything is falling apart. Also, the Russians have turned up with a unicorn. With that said, we're gonna go ahead and end it right here, and hopefully, as I always say, you guys enjoyed it. Bye!